Kaiserreich, but with the borders of 1936. So hello my dear brothers and boys, today we will have an amazing Kaiserreich campaign that is based on the vanilla HOI4. As you may see, I tried to replicate all the borders from the classical HOI4 and I left all the factions to make the gameplay even more interesting. So that's why you can see a divided Italy, a divided China and divided India. And now the bold man from Russia has even more territories under his rule. I would also like to see the results of this gameplay, as the influence of the Entente has rapidly increased, meaning that the balance between the different factions has changed. The balance between the other factions has also changed, so now Germany has only Poland, Lithuania and Finland on their eastern front, and the same has left on the western front, with Belgium being the main alliance of Germany, and also they still got some colonies in Africa, but it's almost nothing, since now the German Empire has turned into the Third Reich in case of borders and sphere of influence. So let's find out who is gonna be the champion of this campaign. It looks like South Africa has become greater than it ever was, since the United Kingdom gave back Bechuanaland and South Rhodesia to the Union of South Africa. Comparing to the borders of 2025, the balance of power has hit into the side of the Western alliances. Excuse me, but how did you actually get there, Austria? Like, they got a major piece of Libya and they also got Eritrea from Italy. What the hell is happening in this world? Now they control the entire Libya. Tanzania? No. Azazania. Oh my god. So the Russian Empire is back. There is no more Savinkov, there is only Kirill the First. Fun fact, it's not a legitimate Tsar of Russia, so technically this is a fake Russian Empire. This dude literally supported the abdication of throne by Nicholas II. Woohoo? Woohoo! I don't know what was that. Wait, excuse me, Italian state. Welcome to the world stage. A handsome man with a beautiful mustache and national populist dude is ruling such a base state. I think he is a great enemy for our bold man, Benito Mussolini, a lovely Italian leader. Now we need to find the best one between the Italian state and the Socialist Republic of Italy. Boldness with hairness and mustacheness. Which is better? Let me know in the comments. Who do you support in this conflict? Mustache, 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 my lovely mustache. That's what I call a normal good proletariat man. Nicholas Glaze. A good English worker is ruling a based English worker state. Now everyone can afford to eat sausages, beans and onions. Hell yeah! A long man, Hui Long, will rule America once again. He will make America great again, just like Donny did with Denmark in 2025. But I'm sorry, we've got 1936. Oh yeah, classical classic, the Second American Civil War. What a shame, France, you stole the legitimate part of Switzerland. Goodbye, my lovely Geneva. We will meet one day, when you will be free out of the French communards. Belgium, Belgium, my lovely Belgium, you have betrayed Germany, meaning that Third International has now a huge position in Central Africa, which isn't so good for the Entente, considering the fact that they now need to be aware of such a giant colony. And also the Germans aren't safe anymore on the Western front line, so they need to make sure to build a strong army. It reminds me more of 2025 rather than 1936. Just like Maduro, Bello wants to seize the Guyana, so he decided to attack the West Indies Union, which is also under attack of the Canadians, which they have betrayed a few months ago. Yo boys, check this out, Galicia Lodomeria is finally alive. In face of Transcarpathian Ruthenia was the capital Uzhgorod. They just need to recreate Illyria and boom, the Austro-Hungarian Empire has reborn. Just like I said, Ottomans have easily defeated Kurds. Goodbye, Kurdistan, 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 Kurdistan. Goodbye, Kurdistan. Okay, now I understand where all the colonial money were spent on. Bro has consumed too many KFC chicken and now he's too fat to rule a small Syria. He needs only a greater Syria. Yo boys, check this out, Kurds are fighting near the Oklahoma City. They are fighting against new fats and the Japanese Empire. Yo boys, check this out, Canadians have finally intervened in the Second American Civil War and now they are fighting against both the American Constitutional Coalition and Workers' Congress of America. Lol, they just decided to join the war when the result of it was pretty much obvious. What a great support, Canada. Cuba, Cuba, my lovely Cuba, the island of liberty. Cuba has joined the Third International. Well, I guess that Donald Trump wouldn't approve such a deal. It's not a great deal. This way Canada should become a part of the United States, just like Greenland and the Panama Canal. The Americans should get it back. The Indian subcontinent has finally united under the communist rule of syndicalist India. Now they control not even just the India and Pakistan, but also Ceylon and Maldives. Now this group of islands isn't yours or mine, they are ours. So Puerto Rico was captured in a few weeks and now we've got a different government in the United States. So Democrats are ruling the United States once again under the rule of John Nancy Garner, or like many likes to call him, Cactus Jack. You know what, I like cactuses. You know what, Jack, you are really cool, because you are signed a great deal with Canadians. They gave you back the whole state of Alaska, and for that you have joined the Entente. Now that scene would be approved by Donald Trump, but he also wanted Canada to become the 51st state of the United States. But that's an optional scene. And just when I left out of Donald Trump, Danish People's Republic has joined the Third International, meaning that the question of our lovely Greenland would be held. Canadians will probably try to annex the whole state. Oh, I know this guy, he's usually the ruler of Social Democrats, but this time he's a leader of radical socialists. And for the first time since the 13th century, Denmark has changed its flag to a pretty bad one. Oh hell no man, they elected a new leader of the national populists in the Italian state. Now it's not the based mustache man, now it's a parody of Sigma or Mussolini. So let's find at least 5 differences between Mussolini and this guy, except for the age. He really looks like a young Mussolini, or that guy who played Sigma. Sigma boy, is that you? Finally, the epic battle has started between the two Chinas, between the Beijing government and its puppet, and also between Fentian and its puppets. So let's see who will win in such a battle. And of course, don't forget that the Empire of Japan can also join this war and try to conquer all the China, or at least defend the Fentian government. Meanwhile, the Danubian Federation has fully united under the Austrian rule. They're having all the best parts of its empire except for the access to the sea, so I don't know how are they controlling Libya and Eritrea. Like I said, the Japanese empire will defend its lapdog in China. So it is 10th of October 1940 and the Russian Empire has declared war on the Baltic of Duchy, on the German Empire, on the Belarusian People's Republic and the Ukrainian People's Republic, meaning that the Second World Reich has finally started. And I don't really know why, but they made a Latvian puppet. It looks really strange because it is a former part of an empire. Let's see who will win. On 7th of November, on the day of the October Revolution, the King of France has declared the war on the German Empire, which means that the Second World Reich has fully started. Oh, and Sardinians have joined the Entente. Yo boys, check this out, the entire Entente is saving Portugal from the collapse. They got their whole army to save it and even conquer Spain. So let's see what they can do, especially since Two Sicilies is the ally of the Entente. Excuse me, what the hell is happening in Belgium? I didn't expect to see such a mess here. Yo boys, check this out, even the French camels came to the Portugal to save it from the communards. Camels against communards. Who will win? Yep, the Communist France will surely lose this war as they've got only 50,000 manpower at 20% mobilization rate. Also, the South America has joined the battle as Brazil has joined the Reichspakt and Argentina with Chile has joined the Third International. So here's a new front line of this war. Japan made a huge mistake when they decided to go in the depths of China. Imagine what type of rule there should be if China has zero manpower. The Belarusian capital is almost liberated, so the next stop is of course Kyiv and the right bank of Dnieper. They need to liberate Ukraine to form a great ally with a great manpower and a lot of factories, so they can form their own army and push Russians back right to Rostov and Tsaritsyn. Does it still remind me of borders of 1936? Probably yes, then no. We've still got a Poland of 1936, except for Ukraine and Belarus. We've still got Serbia, Albania, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, which are staying the same. Just like the Ottoman Empire, which has the eternal war with Iran. The rest of the Europe is doing pretty much the same, so technically, yeah, it is still the world of 1936, and oh my god, what is happening in Mexico. The United States are pretty dumb today. The situation in the Eastern Front Line is also going in favor of Germany, as they have almost reached Kyiv. The Russian defense line is broken apart as well. Dude, they've got a big troubles. Oh my god, they have encircled Paris. Oh my god, just look at that number of divisions that are encircled in near the capital and at the capital. Dude, it's like 300 Spartans are trying to defend the capital. Or something like defending the Paris Commune in 1871. Portugal is back on the world stage. Welcome back, Bruda. We have waited so long to see you. Wait, is that a woman? A woman is ruling Portugal? Okay, so she is really beautiful, so she can lead Portugal to its new greatness. So the Communist France has capitulated even without taking Paris, as most of the country was already liberated by the forces of Entente and the Reichspakt. That's the political situation in Europe by late February 1943, and guess what? The new leader of the Third International is India. Yup, India. India is now ruling the world. That's really ironic considering that we still have the Union of Britain and some other countries in the alliance. Oh my god, that's a new Kursk offensive, but now on the city itself. Goodbye, Benito. Meanwhile, Estonia was finally liberated after 2 years of occupation. Finally, something has changed on the Balkans. Serbia has joined the Entente. At least something has happened in this part of Europe, which wasn't actually taking part in our challenge since 1936, and its borders has almost stayed the same, except for Hungary and Czechoslovakia. The only part of Ukraine in which Russians are still staying is Crimea, and they are trying to enter Kherson Oblast once again, but they are failing it over and over. The front line as we know it doesn't exist anymore, at least in southern Russia when it truly collapses. Somehow the Russian Empire has capitulated right after I told you that they are gonna capitulate pretty soon. Meanwhile, Ukraine gained a lot of territories, Belarus did so as well, and we'll see a new Russia on the world stage, but now it's a Russian Republic. And it has the same color if Transamur liberated Russia from the east. However, it's not a puppet of the German Empire, so technically it is still free, but it's lost a lot of territories to Ukraine, to Germany, to Finland, and to Belarus. And they also don't have any access to Black or Azov Sea anymore. Yeah, it is the point where the borders of 1936 have truly changed forever. Now everyone can focus on defeating communards as it is the only enemy that has left in this world. And Japanese Empire is probably going to unite China in this campaign, as the Chinese United Front is truly losing it. The most interesting thing for me is that Germany has started with just a big Poland and a small parts of Ukraine and Belarus as its puppets. Oh, and they also had a Kingdom of Lithuania. And now they have fully restored their sphere of influence as it is in the Kaiserreich. That is truly an insane comeback for Germans, to say the least. So, Fentian government has annexed the entire China and the Japanese Empire gained some major cities like Guangzhou, Xianyang, and Shanghai under their control. Now we see a united China, and let's just say the fact, it's a puppet of the Japanese Empire, it's not an independent state. Previously I told you that this China is a puppet of the Empire of Japan, but now from being formal, it has gone to the real one. The reformed government of China is an autonomous dependency of a foreign power. Bro, what did you do to yourself? And just after solving the Chinese question, the Empire of Japan has declared war on India. They've got a small front line over here, so let's see what will happen with India in the future. Meanwhile, things are going pretty bad for the British communards, as the American troops along with the British troops are conquering everything here. They have also established control over London, which means that the end of the Union of Britain is coming closer than ever before. And it looks like we've got a pretty strong Ukraine, which is way different from its borders in 1936. Ukraine has also gained Crimea, Kuban, Rostov and Kursk. The last one is kinda ironic. The Union of Britain has officially capitulated in November 1943. Goodbye Union of Britain, goodbye for forever. We won't see you anymore, as now the Dominion of Canada is a rightful ruler of this land. Welcome back, United Kingdom. United forever in friendship and labor. Oh wait, that's a different song. Forget about it. God save the king. Bangladesh is also under massive pressure of the Japanese Empire. No way this is the end for Indians. Oh hell no man, that looks really awful. Especially that part of France in the East India. And what the hell is this? Where are my borders of 1936? And look at that, we've got a fully free Congo in the heart of Africa. What is this? This is disgusting. Now we all understand what would happen with the world in the Kaiserreich if you give it the borders of 1936. You'll get a world divided between the Entente, Reichspakt and the Japanese sphere of prosperity. And here is also an Andean Pact, a pretty major power in South America. Also the African continent stayed pretty much the same, except for Belgian Congo, which became independent, a Republic of South Africa which has eaten all the surrounding countries, and probably the Western Sahara, which was annexed by the Kingdom of France, and Morocco, which also annexed a part of Spain near Ceuta. The Europe has also changed a lot, but some borders are pretty recognizable, like the borders of Austria, Czechoslovakia and Hungary. Germany has also changed, but not so much. However, the same can be said about Central Asia, Ukraine, Belarus, Russia and Eastern Europe, which have changed a lot. And the same can be said about Portugal, Kingdom of Spain and the part of the Kingdom of France, which occupies a major part of Spain. And Asia, well, it's just Asia and nothing more. However, one place never changes. Yep, I'm talking about Australia and New Zealand. They stand fully the same. Sometimes changing the borders can lead to unpredictable results, but the results of Entente in this campaign are pretty good, just like the German Empire did so well in this campaign, and Japan. Japan is Japan. But usually you should better stay as neutral as Albania did in this campaign. They didn't take part in any single war and they were just sitting and chilling near Greece and Yugoslavia. My main advice for you will be this one. Just live this life like FLOPPA or Albania from our campaign.